Rayan Cherki, the heir to Kevin De Bruyne. Of all the names linked with Manchester City this summer, the one that raised the most eyebrows wasn't Florian Wirtz, Jamal Musiala, or Morgan Gibbs-White. It was a 21-year-old who just finished 6th in League One with Lyon. And yet, he's the player Pep Guardiola personally called. The player City are ready to spend €40 million on. The player who could become a crucial piece in the club's rebuild after a trophy-less season. In truth, this move is just one domino in a chain reaction. Kevin De Bruyne leaves, City's attack loses creativity, rivals splash big money on top stars, and Guardiola is forced to refresh the squad, quickly and with quality, before the FIFA Club World Cup kicks off in just a few weeks. When the Belgian maestro officially bid farewell to Manchester City after nearly a decade of brilliance, fans were left with a sense of sadness, even if the writing had long been on the wall. At 33, De Bruyne simply couldn't keep up with the relentless pace anymore. A string of injuries had already dimmed his influence in the final months at the Etihad. Yet even in decline, he remained a symbol of the club's identity, a genius whose vision and passing sliced through the tightest defenses, perfectly complementing Pep's philosophy of control and precision. And the numbers don't lie. Since arriving in 2015, De Bruyne has delivered more assists than any player in Premier League history. He wasn't just the heartbeat of City's midfield, he was Manchester City. But all eras come to an end, and as fans and pundits alike debated who could possibly replace such a figure, City's original plan pointed to Florian Wirtz, Bayer Leverkusen's wonder kid. But with a price tag north of €130 million and fierce competition from Liverpool, the dream quickly faded. So, with a need to rejuvenate the squad while tightening the financial belt, Guardiola turned to another solution, Rayan Cherki. The young Frenchman had just delivered a solid campaign with Lyon, 8 goals and 11 assists in League One alone. Across all competitions, he contributed to 32 goals, scoring 12 and creating 20 in 44 matches. While he's most comfortable playing as a number 10, Cherki can also drift in from either wing, offering the kind of tactical flexibility Guardiola loves. Make no mistake, this isn't some last-minute panic buy. According to Football Insider, City have closely tracked Cherki's dribbling flair, and especially those magic feet. He's described as a player who thrives between the lines, can operate on both flanks, but is at his best pulling the strings centrally. And above all, he still has so much room to grow. It's a high-upside signing with the potential to be a perfect fit. Cherki has that special spark, a dazzling dribbler with the ability to unlock defenses or find the net himself. In a City team that struggled to break down deep blocks last season, his arrival could bring a new edge in the final third. He's not a new De Bruyne, no one is. But he could be the creative link City have been missing. The piece that adds fluidity, unpredictability, and bite in tight games. And time isn't on City's side. The summer of 2025 comes with immense pressure. Rebuild after a disappointing season and prepare for the FIFA Club World Cup in the US, a tournament that begins just weeks after the transfer window opens. Chairman Khaldoon Al-Mubarak has already made it clear. The squad needs 4 to 5 new faces, and deals must be wrapped up early to meet tournament registration deadlines. In that context, the Rayan Cherki deal feels less like a gamble and more like a calculated strategy. Instead of chasing inflated names like Wirtz or Musiala, who could cost over €100 million and take months to negotiate, City are going practical. Cherki has a reported release clause of around €40 million. That's a manageable fee at a time when financial fair play restrictions are tighter than ever. And the deal ticks all the boxes: affordable, young, talented, and tactically versatile. This is a move born out of necessity, but it might just be the kind that shapes a new chapter. One built not around marquee signings, but around bold decisions, smart scouting, and players hungry to prove themselves on the world's biggest stage. He's entering the final year of his contract with Lyon, a key reason the French club are under pressure to sell, rather than risk losing him for nothing next summer. And according to journalist Santi Auna, it wasn't a scout or an intermediary who made first contact. It was Pep Guardiola himself. The City boss reportedly called Cherki directly to lay out the project, explain the vision, and outline his role in the new-look Manchester City. When a manager like Pep picks up the phone personally, you know it's serious. And sources say that after that call, Cherki was convinced. Personal terms? No issue. All signs point to a done deal. Of course, Cherki isn't the only name on City's radar. The club are also monitoring Tijani Reinders from AC Milan and Morgan Gibbs-White from Nottingham Forest. Two very different profiles, but both considered part of the midfield refresh. The problem? Each of them would cost upwards of £40 million and require lengthy negotiations. With the FIFA Club World Cup just weeks away, City needs speed. And that's where Cherki fits in perfectly. A fast, affordable, and versatile solution. But make no mistake, Manchester City aren't alone in this race. Liverpool, Manchester United, Newcastle, and even Everton have all tracked Cherki for months. Earlier this year, Newcastle were even quoted a £33 million price tag. But now, with City moving first and Cherki eager to take the next step, the rest have been left playing catch-up. This is a signing that screams precision and pragmatism. City aren't chasing the flashiest name on the market. They're targeting the right fit at the right price. A player who ticks multiple boxes, affordable, young, tactically flexible, and available now. Still, a smart transfer doesn't guarantee success on the pitch. One thing everyone agrees on, Rayan Cherki is a gifted footballer. Sublime technique, press resistance, creative passing, ambidextrous finishing. He's an artist with the ball at his feet. But like many artists, especially young ones, the challenge is fitting into a structured, disciplined system without losing what makes them special. And in Manchester, that system is Pep Guardiola. Cherki can dribble, shoot, pass, create. But one big reason clubs have hesitated in the past is his defensive work rate. Or rather, the lack of it. Thierry Henry, who worked with Cherki during his time managing France's U21s and the Olympic squad, was brutally honest in an interview with L'Equipe. This season, he showed he can meet the demands when out of possession. The problem before was he never strung together enough consistent matches to show what he's truly capable of. To earn those minutes, you need to defend for 90 minutes, and this year he did it. That's why he kept starting. That's less of a compliment and more of a warning. Henry sees world-class potential in Cherki, but that same lack of consistency has held him back. And at Manchester City, where pressing, positioning, and defensive structure are non-negotiable, there's no margin for laziness, even in the final 10 minutes of a match. Pep doesn't go easy on players who skip defensive duties. Just ask Jack Grealish or Riyad Mahrez. Both were made to prove themselves all over again when they arrived. Even Bernardo Silva, the tireless engine of the team, once admitted that under Pep, you can't switch off for a second. Sources inside the Etihad have reportedly raised concerns too. According to The Telegraph, several Premier League clubs following Cherki have questioned whether he has the intensity to thrive in a high-pressing system. So why are City still going for him? Because Pep Guardiola has always believed that with the right attitude, he can turn a good player into a great one. And this past season, Cherki did begin to evolve. No longer just moments of brilliance followed by vanishing acts. He played 44 games, contributed 32 goals and assists, and became Lyon's focal point in a season that saw them claw their way back from a disastrous start. Still, this is the Premier League, not League One. Manchester City are not Lyon. What he's done in France is only the beginning. He'll need to start from scratch, learn new tactical demands, fight for minutes in a star-studded squad, and accept that every mistake will be magnified under the spotlight of a club with sky-high expectations. This isn't a signing for the risk-averse, but maybe that's exactly why it fits so well with Guardiola's philosophy. One he summed up best himself. You can't keep a winning team forever. If you want to keep moving forward, sometimes you have to be brave enough to break it and build again. And sometimes, rebuilding starts with a step into the unknown. At Manchester City this summer, that step might just be named Rayan Cherki.